Hi there, this is Colin, and in this lesson I'm going to show you how to use the icon module. So let's jump straight in, click on the Page Builder link up here. That's going to open up your page within the Page Builder, and then we're going to go over to Advanced Modules on the right hand side here and come down to Icon. Once we're on Icon, we can click on it, drag it out to our page, choose where we want to put it. I'm just going to put it below this bit of text here. I'm going to let go of my mouse, and then we now have our icon on the page. So what we're going to do first of all is go through these settings here. First of all, we can choose our icon. I'm going to go to that in a minute. Then we've got the link that we want to go to. If somebody clicks on the icon, you can enter that there. Then you also have the choice of where you want that link to open, whether it's be in the same window or whether it opens in a new window. We also have the choice of putting some text next to the icon, so we'll get into that in a second. The next tab would be the style. We can choose the color, the hover color, the background hover color. We can choose if it's a gradient or not. Then we've also got the size and the alignment, and then on the advanced tab we have our margins, standard 20 pixels on each side, and then we've got a responsive layout. We can actually choose to hide the icon if we want to, or only show on certain devices at certain resolutions. And then we've got our animation options, and then we've got some custom selectors that we can use down here if we want to. So let's go back to our first tab and let's go and select our icon. We have lots of choices to select icons. Up here we've got a selection box that we can choose from all libraries, or we can narrow it down to either Font Awesome, Foundation icons, or WordPress dash icons. We also have the option of a search. So for example, if I put in check for checkbox, it will obviously come down to all the check options. The checkered flag obviously is part of that, but in this case I'm just going to actually add this one here. So I'm going to add that to my page, and you'll see it there. It's just added it to the left. It defaults to a gray color, but what we're going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of text on here, and I'm going to put my awesome icon. I'm going to put that there. Now we're going to jump over to the style tag, and I'm going to choose a color. So let's choose a nice bright color that goes on here. We've got blue going on in the page, so let's choose a kind of a bright blue. That's my color of my icon. My text is still standard paragraph text, so it will be the same color as what I put in my theme for paragraph text. So my hover color, I'm going to make it something completely different. So we're going to go with red, for example. So I'm going to click up there, red. And then the background color is basically a little area around the background. So if I show you what this is, I'll click on it. We can add a gray. Let's add a dark gray there so you can see it. What it does is it puts a circle around the background, and I can also change that. So when we hover over it, it changes to a different color. Let's go to something like green so you can see it. Now, once we actually save this, you'll be able to hover over it and see the actions, but we've got the options of gradient or no gradient. So I'm going to put a gradient on for now to show you. As you can see now, it's got a bit of a 3D action. Okay, and then the structure, we can change the size. So I'm going to change this to 60 pixels, and you'll see it will get a lot larger. Okay, there we go. And that is pretty much it for the styles. Well, the only option we've got left is we can center it left or right. So I'm going to center it, put it right in the middle there. Okay, now this looks a little bit silly with the text being that small, so what I'll do now is I'll go back into general. I will highlight this text here, and I will put that as an H2 heading, and that will make it rather large. There we go. I can also override the color of that one, so if I want to match it, I can put an inline style and make it blue so it matches the icon, and then that will come apparent once we actually click save. But the advanced tab is the last one I'm going to do, and on here I have no options. I want it to display on all devices, and my animation, I don't want an animation because that comes in a later lesson. So I'm going to click save, and that is how easy it is to add an icon to your page. Now if I don't want the text, I can just come back in here and edit it. All I need to do to remove the text is delete it and click save, and my text is gone and I'm just left with an icon. If I don't want the background, I can go into style, just eliminate the background colors like so, and now I've just got the blue. Now once I hover over it, once I've saved my page, you'll see the hover effect. So if I actually click done and publish changes, hover over this, it changes, as you can see. So that's it for the icon. The next lesson will be the icon group. Hope you enjoyed this. I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks. Bye now.